There are five very important reasons why it makes sense to be thinking about a job change or career switch right now. My name is Alisia. I'm a Chief People Officer and economist, so we're going to get into it. First is the number of job openings in the country have been going down. Over the past couple of years, the number of job openings have not been going up, they have been going down. And even more importantly, the number of job hirings, which obviously is a smaller number, the number of job hirings also has not been going up, it has been going down. So there are just simply not as many jobs available as there used to be as time is going by, at least at this point in time. It's also true that the number of layoffs have been increasing. I think we've all been reading and seeing on the news the kind of high profile types of layoffs that are happening in tech. But it's not just tech. And interestingly and differently now, it's happening at all levels of the organization. It's happening in the C-suite, it's happening with senior execs, middle management, even the lowest paid person in the whole company. Layoffs are not firings. This is through no fault of anybody's. It's just a decision by the company that they are going to get rid of certain roles or the number of people in certain roles for all types of reasons. They can be strategic, they can be financial, they can be all types of reasons. But the reality is, the world in which we find ourselves of work, employers are increasingly making the decision to lay off at all levels. So that puts a degree of risk for those of us who are employed, right? So that's number one. The job openings and job hirings are not increasing. Number two, layoffs are on the rise. Number three, the unemployment rate, while not super high, especially by standards of over the multiple years, unemployment rates are not very high. But the issue is that they are starting to grow. And in addition to the people who are looking for jobs, which are in that number, there are also people who have been looking for jobs and have been unsuccessful and just said, forget it. They're not even in that number, right? So there's more competition out there for the jobs that actually are available. And adding to that, we know that every month, 3 million people in the United States quit their jobs. And that's pretty much a steady number. It moves around and goes down, up, whatever. But the point is, for a long time, it's been 3 million, right? So now we're in a situation where job openings and job hirings are not increasing. They're on the decline. They have been for the past several years, where layoffs across all levels of companies are increasing, where the unemployment rate is starting to tick up. Will it stay that way? I don't know. But right now, it is looking like it is moving up. And this number of people who are voluntarily entering the workforce because they're quitting their jobs is pretty steady, right? For pretty good reasons to get organized as it relates to what you're going to do for your job in your situation. Now, the fifth thing has to do with time. We are just 2 months away from the end of the year, 2 months away from the holidays, which is a time when things start to slow down, which is a time when people are on vacation, which is a time where a lot of big decisions aren't made. Sometimes the people who need to weigh in on a decision to hire, they're not all around at the same time, and so the decision gets delayed. All to say, it's important to start getting going. I just told you what's happening in the labor market. Now I'm telling you what's happening with the calendar. It suggests that you put your energy right now into thinking about whether or not you should be doing the search based on the risk of being laid off and based on your desire to move and when that could potentially even happen, right? So those are the top 5 reasons why you should be giving the top 5 reasons why you should be giving significant consideration to making a move right now. Okay? So now what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Put in the comments and tell me your reaction to what I just said. Some people are very fearful of what I just said, but I believe we should all be reality based. We're all grown ups and we have to make decisions about what we do with our lives. So put in the comments. I'm very curious about how this is landing with you, how you feel about it. The first thing that's really important for you to do, given everything that I just said, is to ensure that you've got the right mindset. Okay. It can be very easy to panic, to put your resume together and just, look up all the postings and then easy apply and do all these things in a panic. And that is not a good move. That is not a situation in which you are thinking clearly, where you're going to necessarily make the best types of choices about what you should do next. You cannot control if an employer is going to hire or not. You can't control whether or not a job opening is real or just a posting for whatever reason companies will do that. You can't control anything of that nature, but you can control yourself and feel good about that. You're a professional. You have a lot to offer. You have experiences and skills that nobody else has. And you should feel confident in that. And you will find what it takes for you to have the right work situation that you need to live your life. But that is what you can control. So yes, the job market is very fluid and can be very scary. This is not a time to panic. So while I did say there's not a lot of growth in the number of hires that are happening, it's still over 5 million people per month that are getting hired, right? It's not zero, okay? So it's not an impossible situation. There are people, a lot of people, like I told you, 3 million, who are quitting their jobs. They're not all doing that because there's no place for them to go, right? People are landing. Is it harder? Yes. But get yourself in a headspace where you can be clear headed about how you're going to approach and navigate. We are in a different job market than we've ever been. Companies lay off more freely than perhaps they used to, and people leave jobs more quickly. I recall a time when you had to stay in a job at least 2 years, or there was a red flag, and that was considered a bad thing. But that's not true anymore, right? So there are challenges and opportunities with all of this as well. And I encourage you to take on a mindset that considers both of those things. So there's the mindset piece. The other thing is give some focus to where you are and where you're going. Okay, let's just relax. So let's understand where we stand right now. How do you feel about the job you have? Right? We can be all worried about losing a job that we may not even want in the first place, right? So let's assess your degree of fulfillment with the job you have. How are we going to do that? Well, you know how fulfilled you are or not. You know how you feel. You know how you feel. But I have something to offer to you. If you go into the description, you'll see the career fulfillment quiz. And that's really just a 2-minute free quiz. It will help you pinpoint those areas that may require additional focus based on what you're looking for in your next job. You don't want to take the next job and replicate things that were keeping you from being fulfilled from the job you just left, okay? So do an assessment of where you are. Don't panic. Do an assessment of where you are. How fulfilled are you in the job that you have? And then the other piece is give some thought to where you're going. Don't just take the job that's available. Take the job that is best suited for who you are and what you need, because you deserve that. And it is possible. Not every job is for everybody, right? But you owe it to yourself to think through what your needs are and how they're going to serve the aspirations that you have for yourself. And many people, they get this part wrong because they don't do it. They don't give a lot of thought as to where they truly should be to feel fulfilled and to not be in environments that are just not serving them. And so therefore they're not doing their best work anyway. So I call that the career North Star. You need to figure out what is your personal career North Star so that you can set yourself up for that new situation that's going to be even better, hopefully, than the one that you're leaving. I go deeper in the video above and how to determine what is going to serve you best in your next career. Check it out.